Hello, everybody. This is Evan Lazar in the Patriots Press Pass Film Room, and today we are going to break down Patriots second-round pick Tyquan Thornton, the Baylor wide receiver we all know ran a 4.28 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, best among wide receivers in the 2022 NFL Draft class. And although the speed is all over Tyquan Thornton's tape, the one thing I want to mention here, I think is going to get all Patriots fans excited about this pick, is separation. The Patriots, and that's a buzzword, I would say, around New England over the last couple of years with the Patriots, were 25th in the league in yards of separation per target. According to Next Gen Stats in 2021, they had players that couldn't really get open down the field, especially in the deep part of the field. Well, that's about to change in my mind with Tyquan Thornton. What you're going to see on tape, along with that vertical speed and that burst and acceleration off the line of scrimmage, is a guy that can really release at the line as well. He has a very good release package to avoid press coverage and to get himself up the field with favorable leverage. The other thing that I think really stands out with him as a deep threat is his ability to adjust and track the football in the air, routinely bailing out his quarterback for underthrown deep balls or deep balls that weren't exactly accurate down the field. He has good body control. He has good tracking ability. Those are two things that stand out about his tape beyond just the speed. And the last thing I'll mention, don't sleep on Tyquan Thornton as a red zone threat. 7 red zone touchdowns for Baylor last year out of his 10 red zone TDs. It wasn't like he accumulated all 10 of those touchdowns just by housing it from 50 yards out. This is a player that can also create in the red area with his 6'2" frame. He has that ability on slants, on fades, on crossing routes from the high red zone to really be a dynamic threat in that aspect of the game as well. So I'm really excited about this player. It's somebody that I wish I was a little bit higher on in the pre-draft process. And I totally see what the Patriots see in this guy, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's take a look at the tape. So the starting point for Tyquan Thornton is obviously his vertical stretch ability and deep threat and all those types of things, whatever word you want to use to describe it. So I got to start there. And I think the number one thing that you see with him is that Macro pointed this out to me when we spoke to him last Friday night. This is not a linear athlete, meaning this is not a player that can only move north and south. He can also have some east and west movement, which really helps him get off the line of scrimmage and get off of press coverage easily when you're talking about wide receivers in particular, and also on the other side, obviously corners. What you want to look at the college game is not necessarily all the off coverage zone that a lot of these college teams play, but what can these guys do against press coverage, both wide receiver and cornerback. So I'm going to show a bunch of clips of Tyquan beating press coverage, and I think that's going to really indicate some future success for him in the NFL. So the number one thing that I want you guys to see is not necessarily the speed. Obviously, we know about the speed, but watch the technical details that I break down here that are really important to his game. So as we see at the bottom of the screen right here, this is the matchup for Thornton. And I think the number one thing that you see with his release package is that everything's a fade. And what I mean by that is that his initial step off the line of scrimmage is to his outside, trying to set up that fade release. And that really gets corners, especially that are pressed up against him, to lean or to even open their hips up the field quickly, because they know with that speed, he can just blow right by you. So if you're not coming out of your stance and getting on your horse in a quick manner, then he's just going to run right by you. So that's how he sets up everything, and all of his inside releases get set up by the fact that he is ridiculously fast, and corners have to respect that. So the first thing I want you to watch here in this release package is that first step, and that first step is going to be up the field and to the outside. The second thing I want you to see is you see there's a little bit of space in between him and the corner here, not much, but a little bit, and you're going to see him continuously in his release package get up on the corner and shrink down that space and always be moving forward. You don't want to see guys with their release packages moving backwards, moving too much side to side. You want them gaining ground with every single step. And I think that's another thing that you see with Thornton in this particular play. And in my mind, once we put it all together at the end of the catch, this is one of those verticals that's a wow play. This is as good as it gets from start to finish on a deep post route by an outside wide receiver. So let's continue the play here a little bit. Here's the matchup again at the bottom of the screen. Here's Thornton, and we're going to look at this release package first and what he does off the line of scrimmage. So watch those first initial steps. You see that foot gets put on that outside foot. That's his outside plant leg, kind of gets most of that first kind of initial acceleration off the line of scrimmage. And look at the corner. Look at him starting to open up his hips already to point them up the field because he just doesn't want to get blown by on the fade, right? And Thornton, again, look at how he's gaining ground. Look at how everything is moving forward. His whole forward momentum is up the field. That's going to be really good. Then what he's going to do once he gets onto the corner here, takes one more step up the field, he's going to use a hop step to go inside of the corner. So he's going to put his weight on that outside foot, hop step inside, and that's going to get that inside lane or that inside track for him to get up the field. So here comes the hop step, and you see, look at this initial separation right here. This is separation already. Okay, he's gotten away from the corner. First of all, if we rewind it here real quick and you can see that acceleration and that burst in real time, he turns the corner around like a top. And that's going to really cause all this. See the corner, flip his hips there and turn around like a top? You don't want that if you're an outside corner. You want to stay square. He gets him completely turned around at the line of scrimmage. Now you get this separation here as he comes into this route. What I mean by separation in that release package is that there's no jam. There's nothing inhibiting him to get up the field. He's got this inside track to now get up the field and level this thing off and then break it on the post. So he's got inside positioning, inside leverage. He's got no resistance from the corner because he just spun him around at the line of scrimmage, and there's no jam, there's no physicality from the corner because of that. So Tyquan Thornton now has that ability to go ahead and unlock that 4.28 speed and just get up the field and explode up the field. And that's exactly what you want to see him be able to do. So as we continue this play, what I love so much about it is when he goes into his vertical cut at the top of the route, now he's going to lean back into the corner to create that separation. So he's going to go into the corner, hold that line, and then be able to snap it off at the top of the route. If he just goes ahead and he just runs this post route right from this alignment without getting back and without shrinking down this initial separation here, then it's going to allow the corner a chance to undercut the pass and maybe get a hand in the passing lane. So instead, as he runs up the field, you see how he gets back into the corner here, and he gets his leverage still favorable on that inside track, but now he's got the corner right on his hip, and that's going to allow him to separate here at the top of the route and really accelerate through the break point and get away from the corner at the top of the route. It's really just kind of like a momentum thing or a leverage thing to be able to lean back into him and then snap it off. So now as we snap it off, here comes the separation. You see him running away now. Right here. The corner is in a complete trail. He's a couple steps behind. The last thing I want you to watch, and just kind of completes this entire play from him, is watch the ball tracking and the ability to adjust to the football down the field. This is not a particularly good throw from the quarterback. It is up the field, and it's a little bit underthrown. If he throws him into this area over here, into this green grass, then Thornton's going to walk in for a touchdown. Unfortunately, the quarterback doesn't get the football over there, and Thornton is forced to adjust to this ball. But watch how effortlessly he adjusts to it and makes that catch. That's a really difficult catch to make. I can't really explain how hard that is, to be able to come off your line, adjust to the football, get underneath it, and make that catch. So let's watch it in real time and just watch the explosiveness throughout the route, the release package, the lean back into the corner to create that leverage and create that ability to then snap off the route, and then that ability to track and adjust to the football. I don't think there's a single player on the Patriots roster other than Tyquan Thornton that can run a route like that. That is one heck of a vertical route. So now here's another vertical route against TCU here at the top of the screen is Thornton. And what the Baylor offense is going to run is called a dino concept, or a double post. So they're going to have the inside guy run a post, and then they're going to have Thornton run an even deeper post on the outside. And what's going to end up happening against this zone look is the safety here in the middle of the field, he is going to leverage or match this inside vertical, and it's going to leave no safety in the deep part of the field and Thornton one-on-one. The other thing I want you to look at is that the corner now has inside leverage. Last clip, he had outside leverage, and Thornton threatened that outside leverage. Now he's got inside leverage, and he's going to threaten outside. So he's going to let this release happen. He's going to release it outside, knowing that he's got to get back inside, but he's going to give what the corner gives to him. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of nuance with his hand fighting and what he does to get that inside track back. And then we're going to see him get up the field and get vertical. So this time, he's going to use that fade release. He's just going to get up the field right there. When he sees this jam come from the corner knows that he doesn't have help from the safety. He's trying to maintain this inside leverage. He's going to throw that jam. Watch Thornton's hand come in here and just swat that corner's left hand off of his body. What he's doing there when he swats the corner's hand off of his body is he's getting himself free to then turn up and run up the field. If he allows the corner to keep his hand on him, then it's going to ride him down and it's going to hold him down as he tries to get vertical. So instead, he just swats it right off, clears his body, clears his frame from contact, and that's what's going to allow him to run up the field. So now as we get that clear, he's got that inside track now. See, remember we talked about the inside track before. You see the safety, he's going over here to try to match this route, and that's going to clear it out for Thornton to fill in there. And now he's got inside track. He's leaving because he's 4.28, right, in a straight line. So he's going to be gone. And then again, the track and adjustability down the field, underthrown football, slow down, make sure you track and adjust it. That is big time from Tyquan Thornton. But what I love so much about it, again, it's not just the speed, it's that hand fighting, that swat to get that hand off of his frame and allow him to accelerate up the field. That is fantastic stuff from Tyquan Thornton. So now what we talk about at the top of the screen here is that ability to create on a back shoulder. So now they're going to give him a little bit of separation here. They're going to play like a soft press man technique. Instead of coming up and trying to press him at the line of scrimmage, they're just going to give him this soft press look. Now when we soft press, this corner is going to come out of his shoes. He's going to get up the field, and he's going to stay over the top of Thornton. So then they're just going to pull the string on it and throw this back shoulder. One of the things I hear consistently about Thornton is concerns about his hand size and his ability to catch the football outside of his frame. Here you're going to see him not only catch it outside of his frame, but toe tap, and the awareness and the body control along the sidelines is just fantastic. In the next couple of clips I'm going to show you, if you have any concerns about his hand size and about drops and about that ability to extend and catch passes outside of his frame, all of these throws here are going to be outside of his frame, and he's going to catch every single one of them. So as we get up the field, you see that outside release again. And you see the corner is going to try to press him into the sideline and stay over the top. And Thornton is just going to stop down along the sideline and create that back shoulder separation. But look at here again, you can see that extension. I know it's a little bit hard to see because of the how far zoomed out this shot is, but you can see Thornton going up and trying to adjust to get to this back shoulder football and catch this ball outside of his frame and then get his feet in bounds along the sideline for the catch. That is just a ridiculously good display of body control, hand strength, and awareness of the sideline, and that's going to be really helpful for him. He obviously can get up the field. We saw the first two verticals in this that he's got that speed to get up the field, but when guys actually stay even with him, that ability to create on the back shoulders is going to be crucial. Okay, so now what can he do underneath the defense? We know he's got the vertical ability. We've seen two post routes. We've seen a back shoulder fade. What can he do underneath the defense at the short and intermediate level to get them to respect it? So now here at the bottom of the screen, he's going to run an under route, or kind of like a boxy slant, right? Some teams call this an under route, where he's going to kind of go up the field and run something like that. And he's going to be against press coverage once again. And watch what he's going to do. He's just going to threaten that leverage. He's going to release on the fade, right? Fade look, and then cut back inside. And again, this ball is going to be high and outside of his frame. He's just going to go ahead and pluck it over the middle of the field. So as we roll the play, you see that little outside release. You see that step with his left foot there. That's what gets the corner here to kind of put his weight on this outside foot. So now both of their weights are on their outside feet right here. And that's going to open up this inside to then go ahead and accelerate through the cut on the under route. And watch him just be able to pluck this over the middle. You got this kind of like slant flat, under flat kind of combination here. So that's going to pull this linebacker out of the passing lane, and he's going to just be able to create this separation after that release to then get off. There's the separation. Again, he's wide open. Okay, and the quarterback is going to throw this ball a little bit high. Otherwise, if it's not high, I think that he's off, right? I think he's got a real chance to have a big explosive play here, but watch what his catching ability away from his frame with this high pass. There you go, right there. Here's the football, and he's able to go ahead outside of his frame and make this catch. You can't do this, Mr. Small Hands, Mr. Small Wrist, can't catch the football. You don't do this, right, if you don't have hand strength, if you don't have ability to catch the football. If you hear somebody tell you that this guy's hands are too small to catch the ball, they've never watched him play. He's clearly got that ability to go ahead and pluck the football outside of his frame. If the quarterback hits him on target, hits him on stride, I think this is going to be a huge play. Because if he catches it here and he's got full speed and he doesn't have to slow down and make this catch above his head, look at how much space he's got here to take off. Mac Jones is going to hit him in stride. That's going to be a big play. So the Patriots probably love the fact that this guy can not only create over the top, but I think he's got some wiggle underneath too. And then if the ball isn't accurate, then he does have that ability to go ahead and pluck the football. So there's an under route. Now we're going to show a slant against off. Now, I don't really get too caught up in these off coverage reps because look at how much cushion this corner is giving him. I mean, it's almost 10 full yards. It kind of is 10 full yards, I guess, so almost 11 full yards. In the NFL, he's not going to get 11 yards of cushion. Even at his speed, you're probably talking closer to 8 yards of cushion. So this corner is going to be creeped up a little bit in the league. So I don't think that you want to get too caught up in the things that he can do here. But again, we saw what he can do against press, right? He can create on those verticals against press. He's got the under route against press. Now they have to play off of him because they're probably concerned about their corner getting blown by in a press coverage situation, so they're going to give him cushion instead. And now he's got this ability to run this little slant underneath the defense and just take what's there and take that real estate. And watch what he does after the catch when he catches this slant and the corner kind of blows this tackle here. So here comes the slant, and again, small hands, right? Can't catch the football. Can't go outside of his frame. Not going to have trouble with drops, right? What else can I point out here with all the narratives? There's some elevation. The ball is up over his head. He goes up and gets it between two defenders, and then watch him just pull away from both of these guys and house this thing from 80 yards out. Once he gets into the open field, I mean, forget about it. The whole defense just gives up. I mean, there's no way you're going to catch him. So these are the types of things that I see consistently with him, with his hands catching. This is not a body catcher. This is not a guy that can't pluck the football. This is not a guy that doesn't want to pluck the football. He is not a body catcher. He is a hands catcher, and then you see that breakaway speed. So you press him, he's going to run a vertical, he's going to run right by you, right? If you press him, this is what he's going to do. Boom, right? See you later on the post, right? Not going to be able to defend that too easily. Now, if you go and you give him cushion, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run a little slant, and we're 80 yards to the house. So which way are you going to defend him? It's going to be really interesting to see. I think teams are going to try to press him and try to be physical with him because of his frame. But as I showed you a couple different times, he's got that ability to get off press, right? He's got the ability to wiggle at the line of scrimmage and get off press coverage. I love this one too, how he gets up on the toes of the DB. See this last step that he makes here? Right there, almost stepping on the foot of the defensive back. That's how you really get up on the defensive back, get into his personal body space, and that's how you can be able to snap this route off. So all these little details, the footwork, the acceleration, the hand technique, the ability to go ahead and get the football, all these things really stand out about Tyquan Thornton's game. And the last thing I want to point out to you, I mentioned it earlier, I think, the 7 red zone touchdowns that he had on the year for Baylor last year. 7 out of 10 of his TDs came in the red zone. So this is a guy that can be a real red zone threat, whether it's on slants, it's on crossers, it's on fades. We're going to show you all of those. So here he is at the top of the screen, and he's just going to run this little slant to the inside for a touchdown. And again, he sees the outside leverage corner. He sees a little bit of cushion, and watch him just kind of curl his release or aim his stem kind of outside first to threaten that leverage and get into the body of the cornerback, and then snap it off coming into the middle of the field. And that's what's going to create that separation. That's what's going to create that break point and that leverage. So here he comes off the line of scrimmage. He goes into the body of the corner, and you see how he's up right here on the corner at this point, and that's going to allow him to then fight through it and get into the middle of the field. And once again, watch the hands. As we get here, there's a separation, wide open touchdown, corner's behind him, quarterback throws behind him, and he is able to adjust to the football and pluck the football out of the air, and watch how he tucks it. Nope, you're not going to get it, right? So if he leaves that out, then the DB might have a chance to knock it out, but that adjustment, that body control, that ability to pluck the ball out of the air, again, not a body catcher. This guy can catch with his hands. No problem. But watch the separation. I love the separation there on the slant. Too easy. Too easy for Tyquan Thornton there. All right, now we're going to watch him on a slant, or excuse me, on a crosser. I think this is going to be a big part of his game in New England, not only just in the red zone, but also in the open field, is going to be his ability to cross over the field and stretch it horizontally with his speed. So Baylor is going to run kind of this mesh. You have Thornton there at the top of the screen, and that's how they're going to run it. Here's Thornton. And what they're going to do is they're going to clear out the middle of the field without these safeties and just get leverage situations for their wide receivers. And Thornton here at the top is just going to run away from his guy and be able to get this touchdown in the corner of the end zone. So as we run it, you see that ability to just release right inside, run this crossing route, run through the traffic, and then again, the hands, the ability to stop down and into this corner of the end zone and catch this football in bounds, no problem, touchdown. I mean, this is just pure speed. You just can't keep up with this guy on this type of route. It's just too much space for anybody to keep up with him, and he's got that ability to catch the football as well. And this is probably my favorite play that I saw on tape from Tyquan Thornton. Here he is at the top of the screen, and he's got this ability here to Allen Iverson crossover Key Lawrence, the Oklahoma corner, who I think is probably going to be playing on Sundays eventually. He's just going to run that Allen Iverson crossover release where he's just going to inside out him, and watch what he does to Key Lawrence. Just completely burns him at the line of scrimmage, and look at how wide open he ends up being in the end zone. Whoop, there you go. Easy touchdown. I mean, come on, this is silly. Just no chance. And you ask, okay, well, why is the corner playing inside? Well, he's playing inside because we just showed you 2 clips ago that he's got that ability to create touchdowns on slants in the red zone. So you want to close off the inside, make him go outside of you because you're worried about the slant. Well, now he's going to threaten the slant. Nope, going on the fade, touchdown. So Tyquan Thornton, I think, is going to really excite all Patriots fans. Can run through all the plays again, the verticals, that separation and release ability, track the football down the field, adjust, make a tough catch, and with the coverage coming down on you, almost a touchdown there. The hand fighting, clear the frame, get up the field, go ahead and get the football again, right? We're going to adjust to that ball. Make sure that we know it's underthrown a little bit. Back shoulder fade, guy stays even with me, fine. Field awareness, sideline awareness, pluck the football, under routes. You want to go underneath the defense now, a little wiggle there. Be able to catch the football outside of his frame. Going to give me cushion. Let's just take the slant 80 yards to the house. That's a fun one. I mean, that's going to be awesome. So there you go. Touchdown, 80 yards out. No problem. Red zone, slant, 6'2". Got that ability to separate, that ability to contort his body, body control, pluck the football. Now we're going to use that 4-2-8. We're going to cross the field on this crossing route, run away from the defender. No chance. Good awareness there, too, of the pylon as well. And now the Allen Iverson. Oh, see ya. See ya at the line of scrimmage. I'm really excited about Tyquan Thornton. This guy's going to be a player for the Patriots. So there you have it, a true downfield separator for the New England Patriots. It's been a while since I've been able to see and put together a film review on a Patriots wide receiver that is as dynamic as a route runner and a deep threat as Tyquan Thornton. Patriots fans everywhere should be very excited about having Thornton in New England. You can check out our film room on Patriots first round pick, Cole Strange. It's also up on Patriots Press Pass. And as always, read all of my work on CLNSmedia.com. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching our coverage of the six-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Patriots Press Pass, for a lot more exclusive content on the Patriots right here on CLNSmedia.com.